Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today is going to be a vlog style video. You say hi? Emmy's right here trying to convince me to open the game cabinet for her. You want to rip apart the games? Okay. So today's going to be a vlog style video. I have a few things to do today. I have to get Bowden's Valentine stuff together. I just got the last of them today in the mail from Amazon, so I'm gonna put those together for you guys. I'll show you guys what we're doing this year. Last year we did Hot Wheels. I think the year before we just did like regular Spider-Man sticker ones. So this year we're gonna do Lego ones. So I'll show you guys what I'm doing for that in case you guys want any ideas. I think Valentine's is a little bit less than a week away now. Today's Tuesday, so Valentine's is next Monday, so a little bit less than a week. Hopefully I'll get this up in time for you guys to see before Valentine's Day, but we'll see. And yeah, I think after I do that, I'm going to make some banana bread muffins. I have some bananas that are ready to be made into banana bread. And yeah, I just want to like chat with you guys and catch you up on life. I feel like there's been so much going on with life lately, and I haven't like just chatted with you guys in a second, and I really enjoy doing that. Okay, so I'm gonna get started with the Valentines. So I'll show you guys what I'm doing. So like I said, I'm doing like a Lego theme this year. This is just an example. I just printed out one just to see how it would look. So I'm gonna print out one of these. Got this background from Canva, and then I'm gonna type out some like little saying on it, and then I'll put, you know, from, and then Bowden can write his name. And then I got these little Lego guys. They're not Lego brand, but I got these off of Amazon. I'll link everything that I can below. So basically it comes in like, it's supposed to be like an Easter egg filler type situation. So you get a pack of Easter eggs, 24 of these little Lego guys. I have to build them all, but pretty cute. They're definitely not as good quality as actual Legos. I already built 2 of them. They're not as good quality, but they're good enough. They will do. I'm gonna take a glue dot and just like stick it right here, or a piece of tape or something, and then like I said, I'll do a little saying. I'll have Bowden write his name, and then I got these like cellophane bags from Walmart, and I'm going to put in 1 pack of fruit snacks, and then a lollipop and some Starburst, and then I'll just like fold it over like this, and I'll either staple it closed or tape it closed, and then I'll put the little paper with the Lego on top. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna put together all the Lego guys first, then I'm gonna finish my Canva design and print it all out. Then I'm gonna have Bowden sign them, and then I will tape them all closed and glue the Lego guys on them. So let's go. So time for banana bread muffins. I have like, oh, I just got myself right in the face. I have like an hour before I have to go get Bowden from school. So I want to get this done now so that, I don't know, I don't have to worry about it later. I can't do baking like later in the day when I'm trying to cook dinner and like it's chaos. Like I feel like after school, it's just super chaotic and I can't handle it. So I'm going to do it now, and I'm going to talk with you guys because like I said before, I feel like it's just been a long time since I've been able to really catch up with you guys and update you guys on what's going on in life. So, hold on, I have to wash my hands. I don't know, things have been just kind of heavy lately, to be honest. Just this past weekend, Nate's dog, his first dog that he ever got, we had to put her down this weekend, and it was one of the saddest things that I've ever experienced in my life. It was horrible. And yeah, so I feel like that's just kind of obviously really been weighing heavy on my heart, and I just feel so sad and like so much grief over it. I just feel like no one, of course, like ever wants to experience that, and it's just so freaking horrible. And yeah, it's just weighing really heavy on my heart, and I just feel like in general, like 2022, we're only a month into it, and for me personally, I just feel like it's been very heavy. I know that I shared with you guys a couple months back, I think it was like in the fall or maybe around Christmas, I don't know, Thanksgiving I think it was, I shared with you guys that in the second half of last year, we had a lot of like dynamic shifts and like relationship changes within my family, my side of the family. I guess not really I don't know, like my side of the family, but it was really my step family, I guess, my step side of the family. I don't really know how you describe that, but that was going on, and it was really emotional, and there was just a lot of changes there. And now, as of 2022, there has been a lot of shifts and changes in our dynamic and relationships with Nate's side of the family. And it's really heavy. It's all really heavy. So I know I've shared a little bit of my backstory with you guys here on YouTube. Not very much of it, but some of you guys do know that I don't talk to my mom anymore. And I grew up in a very abusive household from my mom, not my dad. My dad and mom got divorced when I was really little. I think like maybe 3 or 4 years old. I don't really remember, to be honest. I don't ever remember a time where they lived in the same house. So let's just put it that way. I was very young. And there was a lot of abuse at my mom's house. And of course, that's where me and my sisters resided most of the time. She got main custody of us, and I don't really know how she did, but she did. This was also, you know, I don't know, 25 years ago. So unfortunately, a lot, like the custody mainly went to the moms, and it was never really 50-50 back then. So we were surrounded by abuse most of the time. A lot of it was physical. There was also a lot of mental and emotional abuse going on. My mom suffered from a lot of mental health, I wouldn't call them issues, like mental health situations going on there, which definitely aided in a lot of the abuse and the neglect and things like that. So after I left her house when I turned 18, I didn't really unpack anything or like deal with anything. I just kind of escaped from it, and I worked a lot, and I tried to fulfill myself by getting into relationships and drinking when I turned 21. And like, I feel like, I don't know if that's a normal like early 20s situation to go through, but I know a lot of my friends, it was pretty normal. Like, we just avoided things and filled the void with other things. And fortunately for me, I never got into like anything too dangerous. But yeah, that's what I did. And then unexpectedly, we got pregnant with Bowden when I believe I was 23. And, you know, I'm not really going to speak much for Nate, but Nate definitely did not have a great childhood either. And he definitely did not, how do I word this? Like, I don't want to say too much, but we both really bonded over the fact that our childhood was very different, but there were a lot of similarities as far as like generational things that are not healthy, I guess, that were passed on to us. That's as much as I'm going to say on that. But basically what I'm trying to say is, when we had Bowden, a lot of things came up for me when I became a mom myself. A lot of triggers that I didn't really know necessarily that I had, a lot of issues and baggage, I guess. I don't know if baggage is the right word, but just a lot of things that came up for me. And I never knew this, but I guess this is pretty common. So if you have trauma, if you have PTSD, if you have any negative related things relating to your childhood, they can come up once you have a child yourself. And the main thing for me, I guess, was that after having Bowden, I was like, being pregnant with Bowden made me really feel the void of not having a mom in my life. I really struggled with that, because when you're pregnant, I feel like, especially with your first child, I feel like you want your mom. And most women, like everybody I was seeing at that time, had their mom in their life, and their mom was like throwing them a baby shower and just like helping with the new baby and staying the night and just like giving them advice and everything. And I just didn't have that. And I really struggled with that, and I really longed for that. So I decided to give my mom another chance and see if maybe we could form that relationship, and if she was in a healthy place to do that at the time because I really needed her. So I tried that for a while. Unfortunately, that didn't work out for me. It didn't really go the way that I was hoping that it would. And honestly, I feel like it ended up hurting me more in the end, but I also feel like it was necessary for me to try that and go through with that because I don't know, like I needed to try it and know that it wasn't gonna work versus like always wondering what if that makes sense. So that led to like even more stuff. So anyway, I feel like I'm rambling on and I'm not trying to, but I also want to paint the picture for you guys. Nate and I both have been trying really hard to improve ourselves as parents and improve ourselves as people, and we're trying our best to break as many generational like traumas and toxic things, and I don't know what you would call it, but I'm sure you guys understand what I'm saying without saying it. Like, we're trying to break a lot of the negative things that have been passed on from generation to generation in our families, and unpack our baggage and deal with our stuff and figure ourselves out emotionally, mentally, everything, figure our triggers out, and just like work on ourselves as individuals so that hopefully our children don't continue the cycle and we don't continue to pass things on to them that are negative. I'm sure we're messing up in a million different ways because we're definitely not perfect. But yeah, we're trying to unpack our stuff and be better at it. And it's so hard. It's so freaking hard. And I feel like sometimes people don't acknowledge that or talk about it, like how hard it is to be a parent and try your best to be a good parent when you have a lot of baggage attached and a lot of trauma, and it's really freaking hard. And we've both been working really hard to change our negative habits and our triggers and things that you don't even really think of, that when you look back you're like, oh, that was modeled to me, so that makes sense as to why I react this way, or like this was done to me and this is how I reacted. Like, I remember after we had Bowden, I had a severe anxiety attack, severe. Me and Nate had gotten into an argument, and like literally the second that his voice started escalating in volume, I lost it. And maybe it was a panic attack. I don't really understand, to be honest. I think it was a panic attack because I believe anxiety attacks are brought on out of nowhere, and this was definitely brought on because of the argument. So I believe that's a panic attack. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm sorry if I'm wrong here. But anyway, I could not breathe. I literally could not catch my breath. I was hyperventilating. I was crying. I was honestly one of the scariest things I've ever experienced myself, because I didn't really know what was going on, why I was reacting the way that I was, and like all reasonable thought kind of just goes out the window, and your body is just panicking and tensing up, and it feels like you're having a heart attack and you can't breathe. It's almost like you're drowning, but you're not in water. And it's just terrifying. It's freaking terrifying. So anyway, that happened. And after the fact, after I've been like learning about things and trying to better myself, I realized that that was a panic attack. And it was because I had a million of those over my childhood. I've always, not always reacted that way, but like there were so many times that my mom was screaming at me or pushing me or physically assaulting me, and that would happen. And I thought I was just crying really hard, or I was just like really upset, and I was just like scared, so I couldn't catch my breath or whatever. Like I just thought it was like a normal reaction, and everyone reacted that way. And afterwards I realized that's a panic attack, and it's not normal. Not everybody feels that way, and most people don't react that way to a disagreement or an argument in your household. But for me, it triggered so much panic inside of me because it just like brings you back to that moment, like a childlike phase where like you feel like trapped. I don't even know how to describe it, but for me, like him raising his voice literally brought me back to my mom's house when I was little, and I was trapped and I couldn't escape her, and she was hurting me, you know? And it was so scary. And it's like your body just never forgets. And those triggers, while they might not make sense to other people, and sometimes they might not make sense to you, your body never forgets. And it's just so crazy how I'm like, I'm like tensing up just thinking about it now, because it's crazy how your body just never forgets that feeling, and it can go into fight or flight mode so fast and just react that way, and you have no control over it. So because of the growth and the learning that we've been doing and the actively working towards and making steps and changes every single day to our mindset, to our communication, that has been a really big thing for us, is like communication. And I have struggled with communication for years, because in my household growing up, in my household growing up, it was not okay to communicate your feelings as a child. It was not okay to talk about how you felt. It was not respected. How you felt was definitely not respected. And it just wasn't a safe environment for that. So I would hold things in, and then when I had a chance to talk about it, I would kind of like panic and clam up. I still do. I still struggle with these things. I would kind of panic and clam up, and I didn't want to talk, and I would just say, never mind, it's okay, whatever. So communication and mindset for me have been huge things that I've continued to try and work on, because I see the biggest change in myself and the growth in myself. But I feel that working on yourself and actively trying to change your environment, and like I'm very protective over my environment now. I feel like since moving into our own house and like having total control over my space, I'm not living in my parents' house, I'm not living in Nate's parents' house, I'm not living in anybody else's house. It's my space, it's my safe place, and I get to dictate and decide how I want this space to feel, the mood, the vibe, the energy, whatever you want to call it. I get to decide that, and I'm in control of that. What I put out is going to be, everybody feels it, right? If I walk in and I'm just in a bad mood and I'm angry, and Bowden's playing and he's too loud and I'm yelling at him like snappy, you know what I mean? Everybody's gonna feel it. It's gonna be tense, and it's gonna be uncomfortable, and no one's gonna want to communicate, and it doesn't feel good. It's not a healthy environment. It doesn't feel good, and I don't want that for me. I don't want that for Nate, and I definitely don't want that for my kids, because that's what I grew up in all the time. It was very like waiting for the shoe to drop, and I don't want to be that parent. I want to have self-control over my emotions, and I'm not saying I'm perfect or I ever will be. There's days where I yell at my kids. There's days where I am tired, or I'm really struggling emotionally, and I just feel very depleted, and I just have a hard day. But I'm actively trying to shift my mindset, to shift my attitude, and to give myself tools in my toolbox that will help me when I'm struggling, because I will struggle. I know that. So I feel like because we've done so much work to shift our environment and shift ourselves and shift our home and how it feels here, both of us over the last 2 years have gotten more and more protective over this space, and just like our space as a family, I guess, I don't know how to describe this, like mental space and emotional space. And it's been a struggle, because I don't have a relationship with my mom, so that comes with a lot of cons, but some of the pros are that you don't have to continue to be around it. I'm changing, I'm growing, I'm not the person that she is, and so because of that, we don't mesh well together. So the relationship has ended, we're going our separate ways, so I don't have to see her at family events, I don't have to be around that negative energy, I don't have to associate with that at all. It does not affect me at all, because there's no relationship. But what becomes hard is when you grow, and when you change, and when you shift, and you still have relationships with people who don't, and when you're family with them, that's really hard, because there are a few family members that we have that are just not in the same place that we are, and that's okay, that's fine. But unfortunately, inevitably, that creates some friction when we set up boundaries that we feel are healthy for us and for our kids, and that we feel are necessary to protect our peace and for all of us to enjoy ourselves together and have a positive relationship. And when those boundaries are continued to be disrespected or fought or ignored, that's where we are having some issues. And it's really hard, because I'm a very non-confrontational person. I avoid it at all costs. I've always been this way. I always will be this way. It's just who I am, and I hate it. So I feel like I'm a relatively like go with the flow, easygoing person. I will laugh off things, if you want to give me some sarcastic digs, I'll just laugh it off and move on and not let it bother me. So lately I feel like the second half of last year and then this last month, it's been a lot, and I feel like it gets to a point where I can't not have confrontation, because it comes to a point where it's affecting my kids, it's affecting me, and it just doesn't feel good anymore. It feels yucky, and it gives me anxiety when I'm like seeing them or going around them. You know, it's just not fun to feel that way, and I don't want to feel that way, and I don't think I deserve to feel that way. And same with Nate. So we've had to put up boundaries and have conversations, and it just feels like, I guess long story short, it just feels like this last year a lot of relationships have ended or shifted, or we've had pushback, or I don't want to say issues, but like issues with our boundaries. And when you get like so many pushbacks and you feel like so many relationships are ending, it's hard. It's hard. And I know that it's for the best, because I feel better not having that in my life. And I feel like my boundaries are relatively, like not too much to ask. I feel like they're just typical healthy boundaries to treat each other with respect and kindness. That's really it. So I feel like I don't regret putting up the boundaries. I know that that's the right choice for me and my family, and Nate knows the same. We feel very strongly in that, but it still stinks, and it still is hard, and it still is lonely. Like, it almost feels like a marathon. Like, I know we're running a marathon, and I know we're gonna get to the end, and I know it's worth it, and I know that we're doing the right thing. But like, when you're in the middle of it and you're tired and you're kind of worn down, that's where it's hard. And I feel like we're kind of in the middle of it right now, and it's just hard. But I also feel blessed that we have a lot of people around us that are a good community for us, and we feel very loved, and we definitely have a lot of quality people in our lives versus quantity. But yeah, like, a lot of friendships are getting a little bit tough. I feel like I'm kind of being put in another difficult decision here lately over the last week with a friend. So I'm not really sure how to navigate that. And I guess like all this to say, I just feel very emotionally drained right now, because I feel like so many boundaries are being violated, and there's been so much confrontation and so much like pushback, and it's just like a little bit draining sometimes. So I don't know, like, if you guys are parents out there too, or even if you're not parents and you're trying to break the generational cycles and you're trying to be healthier for yourself or your kids, or, you know, whatever it is, I see you, and I know it's hard, and I know there's times that can be like really rewarding, and there's also times that just can be like almost have you questioning, like, what am I doing? Am I doing right? Or like, this just sucks. Like, it's just really hard, and it can be really lonely and isolating. I'm really grateful that both of my sisters are on a similar journey to me. So I feel like we have each other at least to kind of like bounce ideas off of and commiserate and be like a community together. So I'm grateful for that. So freaking grateful for that. But yeah, that's kind of what's been going on in life. There's a lot of emotional shifts, a lot of family shifts, a lot of friendship shifts, just a lot of shifts. And so far 2022 just feels really emotionally heavy. Like, then with Bella passing away, and it's just like the dead of winter, everything is cold and sad, and it feels hard right now. So I'm really hoping that things shift soon. I'm going to put that out into the universe. I'm going to, you know, stay positive and stay grounded and try my best to focus on the good and continuing to work on myself. I'm going to finish these muffins up because I really got to get going, so I have to put them in the oven, but I'm glad we were able to chat a little bit. I hope I didn't bore you guys too long. I know I was like rambling forever, but if you guys want a video maybe of my childhood, or like things that I've learned, or my story or something like that, let me know, because I would be happy to share with you guys. I try my best to put out positive content here, but I also want to be real with you, and life is not always positive and not always happy, and I don't want this to be a place where it's just like the typical social media aesthetically pleasing like perfect life, because that's definitely not reality for me. And I just want to be honest with you guys and make this a space where it's real and honest, and you guys can be real and honest, and we can just like create this safe community where we all can share and, I don't know, just be real. So muffins in the oven. Gotta go. All right guys, I'm telling you, if you ever make banana bread or any type of muffin that's like sweet, add some sugar. I use the cane sugar before you bake it and it makes all the difference. It's so good. It like makes this baked on like sugar crust. Oh, chef's kiss, amazing. It's the best ever. Okay, so I want to show you guys how they turned out, the Valentines. So this is what I made on Canva. Of course, it's not focusing. Come on, camera. So it's kind of hard to see, but basically I made that. I made 3 different sayings. So one says, our friendship was built to last. One says, we are built to be friends. And then the last one says, what does this say? Our friendship is the perfect fit. I can't even talk. So I basically just fit 6 of them together on one piece of paper. Like I said, I made this in Canva. These are all free like pieces, like, I don't know what you call these, like all these little designs are free on Canva. Excuse me. So I printed these out on 4 sheets of paper times 6 on each, and then I cut them out. And then like you just saw in that clip, I had Bowden sign them all, and now I'm gonna package them all up and show you how they turn out. Okay, so I'll show you guys how they turned out. I think they turned out pretty cute. So I just used a glue dot and put it on the back of this little Lego guy and stuck him on the edge, and then taped this to the bag. And then I put some fruit snacks, a lollipop, and a Starburst inside. So these will be our Valentines for this year. This is where I'm gonna end the video. So thank you guys as always for watching and supporting me. Thank you if you stayed to the end of this video. I know it was really chatty and rambly and long, but I just had a lot that I wanted to get off my chest and talk to you guys about today. So I hope it helped. I hope it made you feel maybe a little bit less alone if you're feeling heavy right now too. And yeah, I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye guys.